Made in Chelsea star Spencer Matthews had harbored a lot of resentment over the mistakes made by rescuers who had failed to save his brother Michael following a mountaineering adventure. Michael, who was 12 years his senior, disappeared without a trace while descending Mount Everest 25 years ago, and his body has never been found. During an exclusive interview with Express.co.uk, the TV star opened up about how exploring his faith and spirituality for a BBC series helped him resolve his feelings. "I worked through the resentment quite a lot while I was at base camp for 5 weeks. That was the first time I properly discussed it with people who weren't in my family," Spencer explained. He also confessed, "I wish I could break down in tears." Speaking in a broader sense about his emotions, he admitted he'd grown up with a strict northern father from Sheffield, who had such a stiff upper lip that, during childhood, had never cried. "I realize when I say these things it sounds like he was cruel to me, but he wasn't. He was just a general northern man," Spencer shared. "He wasn't nasty. I didn't grow up fearing my dad. It's just that if we could put on a strong face then we were taught to do that. I don't mind crying in front of people. If the waterworks would come, I'd give them to you," he exclaimed, before admitting that, usually, the tears simply didn't come. "I had one emotional breakthrough in my life when I pushed my physicality to its very end. I was coming back from an ultra race in the Amazon jungle and I wailed on the plane for 45 minutes for no reason at all," he explained. "I had to hide under a sheet because it was so loud. I'm glad the plane was in the air, or the whole plane would have heard. The reason I hid, because it wasn't crying, it was something else. It was intense wailing, screaming actually. I was all pent up, I think." Ultra races aside, Spencer usually had a poker face, so much so that he didn't shed a single tear when his kids were born, although, oddly, he welled up a little when the family went to a screening of Disney musical Frozen. "I found, my wife Vogue's births deeply emotional, just no physical tears. Then again, I did cry when we went to Frozen, when Elsa's dress changed from being quite plain to that massive sparkly dress. When she hit the big chorus, I was like, oh my god. My wife picked up on that and was like, hang on a minute, you cried at Frozen, but not when the kids were born." Spencer rationalized, "I don't think we need to compare the two. One is a theatrical moment and the other one is an exhausting time for you." There was, of course, one other time when Spencer overcame roadblocks in his emotions and opened up, when he was working through his brother's death during the filming of Pilgrimage.